time that you've been in our trading session, welcome. We're going to be looking at trading opportunities for this week, also looking at trades that we've got in already from the previous week. These are live trading sessions, and welcome to the session. We're going to get started right after this. All right, traders, once again, welcome to the trading session. My name is FX Big Dog, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the trading opportunities that we have for this week. We do have trades that are in the market already with open positions that we're going to go ahead and review. We also have, of course, our cup of coffee. It cannot be a Forex morning coffee kickoff without a cup of coffee. So get your cup of coffee if you haven't got it already. Now, with that being said, traders, let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what's going on this week and what the opportunities are. We first address the opportunities, then we address what we currently have, and then we go ahead and make decisions how we're going to be able to trade this week. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And let me go ahead and change it over here. And let's see what we've got going here. All right, so first thing I want to go ahead and do is change the document that we have right here. We're going to go ahead and create a new document for this week. And you can see last week we closed out with 326 pips. Only one trade, which was the Euro New Zealand dollar. And this week is the 15th. So let's go ahead and by the way, this document is available inside the description. Just check out the description below and you'll be able to access this document. There we go. This is the 15th. All right, let's go take a look. And there's going to be no carryovers. Let's kill that. All right, let's go take a look and see from the top right here, Euro, Aussie dollar. And we are trading above the target this week. We do not have an overbought condition, so we got a possibility of price moving in an overbought condition, or actually, yeah, overbought condition. We're not there yet, so that'll be pending. We're looking for a bearish alert on this one eventually at some point. Let's go ahead and move on to the next pair. Next pair is going to be Euro Canadian. Price is also trading above the target this week. And with price trading above the target, what are we looking for? We're looking for another selling opportunity right here. And let's go ahead and do that. And we've got William in the house. Good morning, William. We've got Trish. We've got Sharon. Good morning, Sharon. David. Karen. Good morning to you. And welcome to the session today. Jason's in the house and Deborah too. We've got Vessel out in... I know somewhere here in the US. Let's go. EuroCAD above the. So this is creating also an unhit target. Looking for a bearish move towards the target. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Euro JPY. And Euro JPY, if I look over here, the Euro JPY looks like we've got a interesting. We got a bit of sideways ranging, looking for a bullish move towards that. So pending order, we're looking for an oversold condition on this one to give us a bullish alert. So a little different to the other Euro crosses. Vessel, oh, you are in South Africa. Oh my goodness, I actually thought you were out here in the US. I realized the name was South African, but didn't think you were actually in South Africa. All right, let's go to Euro New Zealand dollar. We actually have a hit target this week. Price is trading above the target, which shows that that we may be still chasing after this 1.27 extension right here. This is the fifth wave of the wave structure, and that means that we're looking for price to move another 275 pips to the upside. Anyway, we did have a hit target this week, so we're going to mark it off as hit target. Let's go to Euro. Take a look here, Euro Pound. And on Euro Pound, good morning, Doug. We've got an unhit target. I'm going to call this a low probability. So this one we're looking for an overbought condition, but I'm going to call this a low probability right here. Let's go to the Euro US dollar. Euro US dollar unhit target, price moving sideways. We'll give this a chance to say we're looking for a bullish alert on this one. Very similar to the Euro JPY. Let's go to Pound Canadian. Take a look at Pound Canadian. And Pound Canadian is hit target this week. Let's go to Pound JPY. Pound JPY looks like we've got an unhit target over here. Still trying to get to this target down here. How far are we from that target? Still 223 pips. We were about 100 pips away from the target at one point, but now it's moved up another 130 pips to the upside. Okay. So this week we've got an unhit target. Price is trading above that. That is on Pound JPY. So we're looking for a bullish alert. All right, let's go to the next one. That's Pound JPY. Let's go to Pound New Zealand dollar. Hit target on Pound New Zealand dollar. Let's go to Pound Aussie dollar. And we've got a hit target on Pound Aussie dollar too. Let's go to Pound US dollar. And there we've got a possible low probability trade. Did we get into an oversold condition? No, we did not. I'm going to call this one a low probability. So this one right here is an unhit target. Looking for a bullish alert on that. I'm going to call this one a low probability right here. And these two were hit targets. Let's go to the Aussie crosses. Aussie JPY. Price starting to work its way up. But you see a lot of these pairs haven't really gone into an overbought, oversold condition at the start of the week. So this one's a little, I'm going to call this one also low probability. We're looking for a bullish alert. And this one's also going to be a low probability right here. Let's go Aussie New Zealand dollar. Okay, this one's an opportunity, buy opportunity here. So we're looking for a bullish alert. And then the next one will be Aussie Canadian. And Aussie Canadian seems to be a low probability unhit target. No trading opportunity yet on this one. All right, there we go. Aussie US dollar right here. And Aussie US dollar also looks like a I'm not gonna call this one low probably. I'm gonna call this unhit target. Also another bullish alert. And then we got New Zealand CAD and US dollar. All right, so let's go New Zealand CAD first, and then US dollar CAD. Hit target on the New Zealand CAD, and then lastly US dollar Canadian. We have an unhit target, look for a bearish alert. All right, there it is there. Okay, so what we can take from this document right here is if you take a look at the actual opportunities, take a look and see how the Aussies are now looking for a bullish alert, which means they're running into they're looking to run into bearish oversold conditions. That means that we could still see some Aussie weakness as we start progressing through the week. Now, if that means that we're looking for, and this is something very important to note, if we're looking at price wanting to move back up based on these targets, if we're looking for bullish alerts on all the Aussie crosses, that means the Aussie crosses is doing something like this, right? So let me just go grab an Aussie right here. And no, I'm not going to grab an Aussie, all right? I'm going to grab the currency pair, okay? And if I do this, take a look right here. So as you take a look at this chart right here, and notice how when price trades above these targets right here, it's creating an upward trend. Once price starts trading below these targets, right, and we're looking for bullish alerts, that means that price is currently trading bearish, and these bullish alerts that we're looking for, bullish moves that we're looking for, are just correction moves, all right? So we're starting to see a downside move in Aussie crosses. We've been looking for it a while. It's starting to come into play, but we can't say that we're in a bearish downtrend. Whether it's a short-term trend, mid-term trend, however you see it, it is going to indicate that price is moving down. Now, if we take a look over here, and we start putting in some trend lines, get all technical on this, you can almost see that this is the type of structure that we have. Right here. This is the trend structure that we have right here. And so we are chasing after a missed target down here. But as long as this trend continues to hold, and price, a good indication is when price trades below this pivot point. So we should be getting up to that target, but we first got to get into an oversold condition. So it looks like we're going to continue to see price moving south, doing something like this, where it's going down, going up, testing the backside trend line. Maybe it's going to be a low probability. Maybe price is going to come back up and retest it, but we're eventually going to get back down to this target right here. We've been chasing after for a couple of weeks now. So, and then of course to still have a target further down south. So as long as we're trading below this pivot point, we know that price is moving down to a missed target, but also we could see price testing the current unhit target as it goes ahead and uses it as a resistance level. Remember, as these targets are trading above, or as price trades below these targets are going to become resistance levels. And so price does test resistance, and that's why we're anticipating price to come to these levels. But when you look at a situation like this, where you have a missed target down here, and price is moving below the targets, we could anticipate price coming down to those targets, but also coming to retest that resistance. So it could be a double whammy for us this week, where we hit that resistance, then pull back down, and then go to a target. Now, obviously, for traders like us that are already in positions and want to get into this week's target as well, it would be good for us if price did this. If price goes ahead and just moves down towards this target first, takes us out of the trade, and then puts us into an oversold condition oversold condition to start buying back up again towards this target up here at the top. Now, in order for, if the trend line breaks, if the trend line starts heading south right here, in order to get to that target, we may have to see a breakout of the trend line, which means an interruption to the trend before we can get to that target. And how we'll be able to identify that is simply go into the larger time frame and looking at the larger time frame, see whether or not price is at a resistance level, in this case now support level, that could help push the market back up and break a temporary trend line, but then go ahead and continue to work its way back down south. If we look at the Aussie JPY right here, we also see that price could test a major support level because we're now back inside that larger range. If I go ahead and squeeze this up to a weekly, you can see right here, this is the larger range we talked about right here, and this is where the price had moved back above that. Now, this is going to be critical if 72.09 is breached, then we could see the market moving much further back down south. In fact, we could go ahead and test the lows down here, which is priced at, what is that, 55.25. So 55.25, that's where we could see price going ahead and retesting. Also, of course, the temporary stop will be 59.91. Now, let's take a look and see what trades we are currently in and how we're going to manage those positions. So this is what we have right here. And so what we're going to go ahead and take a look at is, let's go take a look at our overall positions. All right, there it is there. So we're deep in the money on this pair right here. This is the pound JPY. We're deep in the money. We've got 4 positions in on that. Price has gone ahead. We looked at this earlier on, and we looked at this and noticed that we do have price giving us this big bearish candle right here. But don't forget, traders, that we've come off support. We're looking for price to move back up to resistance. So this is just going to be a temporary retracement. Let's go to the 1 hour right here. Now, the 1 hour is showing us that price is still trading below the pivot point. All right. So as long as we're staying below the pivot point, we should be in a bearish trend. This is the target we're chasing after right here. We came within 100 pips. If I was up at that time in the morning, I think it was around about early this morning. Yep, it looks like 2 in the morning. If I was up actually at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I never got to 2 o'clock, but if I was up at 2 o'clock this morning and I noticed that price had got to this level, I may have thought about getting the heck out of Dodge. Now, the good thing is, and the great thing is that in order for us to trade this target right here, we've got to see price in the oversold condition. Now, price is not in oversold condition, which means that we could see price continue to move back down south, get closer to this target before we can get the heck out of Dodge, because we may be expecting price to go ahead and work its way back up again. Now, overall, if you look at that big weekly trade, the big weekly trade is already showing us that we had this big bearish candle, and that price can go ahead and test this candle before heading back down south. So this retracement is due. We're going to see some sort of retracement, but we want to go ahead and get to this target first before we even think about the retracement move. Get to this target, and then let's think about retracement. In fact, this will be a great target to chase after if we can get into an oversold condition after we've gone ahead and taken profit at this trade. Then we can go ahead and say, let's go ahead and trade back that big bearish candle on the weekly and trade it back again and try and test that level. So we have that option to do that. We're just going to wait for the timing. Timing's not there yet. So I'm holding on to the pound JPY, looking for price to move further down south, get a little closer to our target. We'll see towards the end of the week how that's going to play out. Now, for those traders that watch the news, let's take a look and see what's happening out this week that we need to pay attention to. And we've got coming out this week, let's see, we've got retail sales out in the US. That's going to, well, last, or at least the previous numbers showed negative numbers. This forecast for this week, or at least for this month, now this month would be, of course, month of where are we now? We're June, so it's April, May, sorry, my bad. So May numbers are actually showing right now, the forecast numbers are showing 5.5% in core retail sales. I don't know if that's going to be fake news. I can't see that happening. Definitely don't think that's happening. Wait a minute. Does looting also count as sales? I don't know. We'll have to check that one out. All right. So Wednesday we've got just a joke, trying to put some humor in what's happening today. We've got Wednesday. Wednesday we have the Aussie employment change. We have the unemployment rate coming out. That's showing at the moment right now big negative numbers, not as bad as what they had previous, but we are seeing the unemployment rate ticking up to 7% from the 6.2%. So, but the employment change, not a big change compared to what they had, or at least the forecast is not as big as they had last month. So we'll see what Wednesday brings us for the Aussies. Now remember, we're expecting a little bit of a continued weakness of the Aussie this week before we start seeing some sort of correction. So could we see, and this is the thing that I'm going to be watching out for, if we see price moving down into oversold conditions on the Aussies by Wednesday, then maybe Wednesday's going to be a correction move, means stronger Aussie just in the short term, as maybe the numbers come out a little bit better than expected. Think about that. All right. We've got some official bank rate coming out for the official bank rate coming out for the UK. They're expecting to keep the rates unchanged. Absolutely, I think that's going to be a given. All right. And then, of course, we've got some additional data coming out on Thursday for the pound. So that's what we have for the calendar this week. And then we're heading into the Father's Day weekend. I'm going to call it weekend. Yes, I've gone ahead and labeled it as Father's Day weekend. I'm going to throw in long weekend just so that Friday and Monday is also Father's Day. So we're going to go ahead and, or part of Father's Day weekend. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what the data is going to report this week and see how it affects the markets from the short term. Hey, just do me a favor to go ahead and type up in the chat if the sound is still coming through loud and clear. So I want to make sure about that. I just see a drop in audio there. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of things here. Pound JPY. Let's see here. We've covered that. I want to go into another pair right here. And let's see what we've got here. All right, we've got Aussie US dollar. We've got 3 positions in. We're currently selling on Aussie US dollar. Let's take a look at Aussie US dollar. I want to check that one out too. Aussie US dollar. Let's see here. There it is. Aussie US dollar. Let's see how close we are to our target. Nope. Still got a long ways to go. I always look at this and I say, well, I've got about 200 pips to go. Still a long ways to go. I'm going to hold on to this position. Let's go take a look over here. We are struggling to break back below this key level of support right here, coming off that low. There it is, we call it a major low at 68 and 18. If we do break below that, it's going to come back to retest the backside of the trend line. Now, this is the weekly, so let me flip it over to the daily. And the daily showing the same thing right here. Seen a lot of resistance right here. Now, this is obviously due to the dollar index not holding its ground a little bit. Let's take a look at the dollar index. And it's the dollar index that's really going to drive the Aussie US dollar bearish. And so I'm expecting some further upside move in the US dollar. And the reason for that is I'm still expecting safe haven moves this week, meaning that we got Swiss, JPY, US dollar, all safe haven currency pairs that are based off a risk of appetite. When there's a risk of appetite, when investors get concerned about the stock market and high risk investment vehicles, they go to safe haven. They normally move out of stocks or equities and go into cash, and that's what's currently, I believe, is going to happen this week and continue to happen this week as we see the coronavirus, or at least the corona data, reporting slightly higher numbers. We've seen a spike over the last week after we've opened up here in the US, and we've seen it worldwide. All right, so this could start seeing money flowing back into currencies just because of the risk on appetite this week. I'm going to say it's going to be a continuation of this. Also, if you look at dollar index right now, dollar index is creating a support level at this bottom of this trend channel. And so therefore, I'm expecting price to move back up to the top of the channel, at least in the short term. All right. If I compress the charts slightly, you'll see right here that we actually have a lot of upside momentum. All right, we've got a lot of space to the upside right here. So if price does start taking off north, if there's a lot of room to the upside, that's not going to hold it back. So we could see a big move to the upside. Now, we're still inside this inside channel right here. And so I'm not going to get too excited about anything right now other than just a short-term rally on dollar. With a short-term rally on dollar, we should be seeing a slight bullish move to on the dollar. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more pairs that I'm interested in. That is the dollar. Hold on a second here. There is, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. The same thing. We got US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD is actually a sell. Believe it or not. No, my bad. It's a buy as well, and that's true. Okay, so look at this. We've got a buy for US dollar CAD, which means stronger dollar. Yep, I'm cool with that. We've got a sell for Aussie US dollar, which means stronger dollar. Euro US dollar, we've got a sell on Euro US dollar, which means stronger dollar. So everything right now is holding strong dollar right now. Let's see a couple other things that I want to point out. Oh, yeah, and then look at like pound JPY. Pound JPY, we're looking for pound JPY to sell off. Why? Strong JPY, safe haven, right? So strong JPY, sell pound JPY. Let's see here, Aussie JPY, we should be selling that, and we are. Why Aussie JPY sell? Well, we know that Aussie's going to weaken a little bit, but also expecting still some stronger JPY. Remember, safe haven, risk on. So let's take a look right here. What else we got here? 72. Let's take a look at Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie hasn't really moved. I'm actually in on buys on the Euro Aussie right here. Let's see what's going on with the Euro Aussie. And Euro Aussie. Huh. Interesting. Let me check this thing. Come on. Work for me. Come on. There we go. All right. For a minute, it didn't want to work. All right. There we go. Euro Aussie. Now, Euro Aussie, what did I say again? Now, I said that we've got in some buys on this, right? Let's go back here and take a look. Euro Aussie. Yep, we're buying. All right, we're buying. So with this, at the support level right here, you would think that price wants to go ahead and move back up. Now, very, very importantly, if we break below this this upward channel right here, we may be heading back down south. But you can see our price actually traded back up again. We should be breaking through this resistance here at 65.71. It's not there yet. I'm still holding on to this. I'm not seeing divergence here on the daily time frame, but I'm expecting price to go ahead and move up. Let me go to the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour shows something a little different. Let me just refresh this chart. All right, so the 4 hour, I'm seeing something a little different. I do see a monthly target down here, which we have not reached. We do see this downward. Oh, hang on. This is why did it flip over to the wrong currency pair? There it is. Okay, this is a little different. Let me go ahead and clean up house. Okay, so so this is the opposite that I just mentioned earlier on. We've seen actually a pivot point above. So we still haven't reached that pivot point right here. But because we traded below the pivot point, I still see this as a bearish trend, and we trade in this correction move. Now, if I look at the short-term move right here, ooh, hold on a second here. All right, so we are seeing that the oscillator had moved into an extreme overbought condition, which means if we do take out the high right here, we are going to see divergence. Price has not taken out the high yet. And so if we do, once we take out the high, traders, it's going to be time to get the heck out of Dodge. And hopefully that'll be enough for us to get to 67.34. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to come up to that level right here so that we can go ahead and look to exit the market. Whatever profit we're in at this point right here, we want to exit the market. Now, let me go ahead and see what is my target on the euro. My target is at 74.77. So I'm only I'm not too far away from my break-even point right here. If I look over here, I'm about 200 pips away from my break-even point. And oh, there it is. It's actually telling me right there. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. So I'm 201 pips away from my break-even point right here. And so if I can get price trading up another 297 pips, I'll be up about 100 pips in the profit. So we need this level to be broken. That's going to bring us, let's see here. Yeah, that's going to bring us into a bullish run if we can just break above that level there. So waiting for that level to breach, be breached. If we break through that level, we should be good to go. So that's the level we're looking for right here. Currently right now, still holding on to long. So I'm expecting price to continue with this trend. Whether it's a short-term trend or a mid-term trend, doesn't matter how you see it. I'm going to be looking for it to continue up towards that pivot point. And this is the monthly pivot point right here. And once we get to that monthly pivot point and we start seeing divergence, we'll definitely start thinking about a bearish move to the downside. All right, that's where we are right here. And I think that's about all the pairs. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to go ahead and review this morning. JPY, Aussie JPY, we spoke about Aussie JPY, but we are holding 7 positions deep on Aussie JPY. So let's take a quick look at Aussie JPY this morning. And let's see here. Aussie JPY, there it is. And we are selling Aussie JPY. I think we did talk about Aussie JPY. Look at the price and move back to this level right here. And the same thing on the Aussie JPY like we saw on the Euro Aussie. Notice that price has not broken through. Just go ahead and correct that. This level right here. Why is that level important? Well, if the oscillator goes into an oversold condition, you would be expecting a divergence, or in this case convergence, with price moving a little lower. So if price holds up at this downward trend line, heads down, takes out the low, gets to this pivot point, and then we see the convergence happening on this, it would be a great opportunity to start thinking. If you're a trend trader and you are currently selling right now in short-term trends, when it gets down to this pivot point and we have convergence, it may be a strong indication that price is going to start working its way back up north. So you may want to start thinking about getting out of your shorts and start thinking about getting into some longs. All right. It's almost like getting out to some shorts, meaning, you know, summer shorts, getting to winter longs. I don't know. Does it make sense? Whatever. It made sense at one time, but it doesn't seem to make sense now. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hold on to Aussie JPY, but we're certainly going to be paying a little bit more attention to what's going on this week. We'll address that on Friday. Also, don't forget about Aussie JPY. I also mentioned earlier on about that 72.10 level being a very strong support level. If we don't break through that and price stays above that, we may be heading all the way up again. And you see it can go to 105. So there's a long way up before we can go ahead and start seeing profit on this trade again. So, and I know traders, if you're saying, well, big dog, you know, price moves up and then next it comes down. So yeah, we do have these corrections. So even if it does go up higher and we add up new positions, we've got 7 positions in right now. I don't know if I want to add in any more of that. I don't want to get into 12, 13, and 15 positions on this, but if it does go back up north, we may end up being in those top positions. So we'll have to go ahead and make a decision this week on Aussie JPY. Everything's going to come down again to the dollar. How the dollar is going to be moving the markets based on the data this week, the COVID-19 results, whatever those results are going to be as well. The unrest here in the US also playing a big factor, how they're going to be dealing with that. Certainly there's going to be some sort of chat around that and conversation around that. And how that all unfolds this week is going to be how the dollar is going to move and if traders are going to move to a risk on appetite. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. And that'll be obviously the talk of the week. So with that being said, now Abraham says, Gary, have you covered the Euro New Zealand dollar? Sorry, I was a bit late. I'm long with the Euro New Zealand dollar, so I want to hear your views. And yes, we have looked at that, and we can quickly go ahead and address that once again, but I have addressed it, and I don't mind doing this on the Euro New Zealand dollar because I am currently in positions myself on the Euro New Zealand dollar, and I am in longs. So here is the Euro New Zealand dollar right here, and I did say that as long as we're staying above this pivot point for the week, we should continue to see price move up to around about 177.39. So looking for an upside move in Euro New Zealand dollar and looking for a chase after this level right here. All right. So we're chasing after about another 250 pips, a little bit more now, 260 pips, 270 pips to be exact, to the upside. That's what we're expecting on the Euro New Zealand dollar. All right. Well, traders, though, thank you very much for coming in. I do appreciate everyone. And the room is getting bigger and bigger as we go every week. And fantastic. Spread the news, my friends. Go ahead and share this video. Share this with on your social media. Go ahead and smash the like button if you enjoyed the session today. And once again, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you back on Friday as we go ahead and review the trading opportunities that we have this week. So with that being said, traders, this is the FX Big Dog saying have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday. Thank you.